Apresúrate, tienes 10 segundos para dar me gusta y suscribirte usando tu dedo meñique. No muchos pueden hacer esto, así que si lo logras tendrás buena suerte. Acabo de enviar muchos pases de batalla y skins a mis suscriptores y enviaré más. Si tú también quieres un skin o pase de batalla, solo tienes que dar me gusta, comentar tu idea de Epic para poder agregarte y suscribirte con la campanita activada. Cada día hay un ganador al final del video. Y todos los que me sigan en mi Instagram y me manden captura de que usan mi código ganador en Fortnite podrán ganar más skins y pases de batalla que regalo en mi Instagram cada día. Con esto dicho, disfruten del video. Chicos, sortearé 1000 pavos en cada video y 40,000 pavos al final de cada mes para 4 de ustedes. Y también muchas cuentas con skins que a todos les encantan como estas. Solo debes estar suscrito con la campanita activada, dar me gusta, comentar participo y usar mi código ganador en Fortnite. Mucha suerte a todos y gracias por apoyarme tanto. Chicos, hoy veremos jugadas muy épicas y divertidas, así que asegúrense de ver el video hasta el final, dar me gusta, comentar y suscribirte con la campanita activada. Disfrútenlo. Chicos, creé un Discord en el cual podrás conocer personas para jugar a Fortnite u otros juegos y para comenzar estamos sorteando 1000 pavos en Discord. El ganador se dará mañana y habrán sorteos y eventos cada 2 días, como también partidas personalizadas casi diario. Tenemos salas para que compartas tus clips de Fortnite, tus memes favoritos y hasta tu setup. En todos podrás ganar recompensas. Hay niveles y rangos en el servidor que podrás ir desbloqueando. ¿Qué esperas por unirte? El link está en la descripción. Te esperamos.
He is one of those players, and we're really starting to see how, despite everyone saying solos is completely different, I would say yes, in terms of the top 100, we're seeing kind of a different list, but in terms of the top 5 in each one of the regions, there's usually 1 or 2 players you can kind of hang your hat on for performing well, and that's really maintaining to be true.
Yeah, and I mean, you can take a look right there, guys. Here's the way that the placements and the points kind of all break out. It's 4 points per elimination. There's the breakdown. That gap between second place and first place is kind of substantial. You'll see that the victory rides heavy in this format and the way things kind of play out. But hey, you get placement as far as 75th. Here's BENJYFISHY, the king of Retail Row. And more importantly, Sundown, we're seeing Moki find success even in a landing spot like Benji. And we might just see an engagement right now between the two.
Yeah, just closing in over on the side. Needs to be careful, though, because Benji has already consumed his shields, whereas she's sitting on a 50 pot. Benji pushes through right away, and that's the difference maker right there. No additional HP. The shields on Benji being enough, and he's going to capitalize on that, sending Moki back right away, as we also see Light and Pink UK picking up elims on 2 other high-level contenders. So, a little bit of interesting exchanges going on, some aggressiveness coming out of Europe, but a nice trap setup from Benji. You saw him on the other side of the door, putting the cone down to immediately force Moki forward into his shot, and he was the one who's taking advantage there. As Kaizen now taking some shots from the side, but Avesta also moving down on the flank.
Definitely is. Here's Kaizen now. He's kind of in the Misty Meadows. Saw that one game where Misty had upwards of nearly 10 players. Now still heavily contested, though. Kaizen has 2 more threats and another off to the lodges. Back behind him, Southern. Let's see, though. These guys are making a lot of sounds, obviously, on their farm. You can hear the shots going down. He wants a piece of the action. He's going to come from the outside. It's going to be a 79 shot. That player had full shield as he jumps into the box. The phone take. And the 50-50 is Boyd who falls down. It's Avesta. And that's going to be the elim for him. He comes up, though. He gets minis, more than enough to kind of bounce back here. That blue tactical shotgun, great for the early game.
Yeah, I mean, the rare tactical shotgun, it has great rate of fire, decent spread going in there. I mean, up until you get into kind of like the legendary and the epic, you're not going to find a better weapon early on. And you pair it with the blue SMG as well, which gives you such great wall penetration factor, and you're able to kind of get on top of people. Right now, Kaizen, though, looking to try and find this other player right now.
Hunting's already found his stride here this game. A little upgrade, too, in the SMG right there. A little cone, nicely done, and now trying to step aside. These are not his walls, and because of that, the slowdown. So Kaizen finds another elimination of Misty Meadows. The player that was off in the lodge is going to just back off. He wants none of the action here, trying to make it later into the rounds here. We're off to the other side now. Looks like we're on the bridge, possibly outside of the farms or Retail Row. Definitely looks like the farms here. It's Jamie who's on defense, holding wall. First rifle, you know, it's an upgraded burst as well. Jamie's got a fair amount of points.
Monster. he doesn't have a shotgun, so it's like, this is kind of an awkward situation where he doesn't want him to close distance, but he also does because he has to jump on top of him with a blue SMG. He's kind of trying to bait this player to go into his box, because otherwise there's not really going to be a way to exchange. You can see him already looking at the river and considering maybe seeing if he can drop down and disengage.
Yeah, definitely. And something to note about Jamie, as he's on defense right now, he needs this here. He's having a much better day 2 than he did a day 1. He's already maxed out as far as his points go in comparison to the first day, capitalizing on his second win here, showing that the 2-day formats are best for consistency and for the players here. This wall is very weak, though. He's going to wait for that opportunity. He steps right out and meets them and greets them with the SMG right there. Well played to Jamie. And this is what I mean by players finding their strides on different days. Very well kind of situated for him, Sundown.
He was able to get a huge upgrade there, going all the way to the Epic Heavy Sniper and the Epic Burst. Now as we switch on over, we have Nuji Duki in a fight over here. Does have the Epic Tactical Shotgun, so going to be able to put out some relatively painful shots, but he is sitting only at 160 effective HP and starting to get kind of down there on builds. He's stuck mainly on wood with only kind of the 5-brick heavy builds, and you can see him already desperately trying to retreat back through the house, kind of change up this fight a little bit. He's saying, nah, I don't like that fight out there. You can come to me. I know where I'm strong, and he sees that cone placed down, so should have a little bit of an advantage right here, at least in terms of information, but going to give that up in favor of just floor coning that off, saying, no, I don't want this fight. If you're going to come in here, I'm going to make sure I own all of these pieces. Good little rip flip, but honestly, I'm not really sure if he really wants to take this fight. They are in the safe zone, so they kind of want to establish control over this, but in reality, I think the smarter play is to just back out of this.
Yeah, definitely does have some options, as now he's getting pressured back. A clever angle from the opponent, taking the kind of wall right here. He is going to grab this time, though, so still maintaining control of his surroundings, opening up the window opportunity angle right there, and now he's going to jump down. Although Dookie does have a mega shotgun, a power shotgun, he's not necessarily looking to put it to use right now. Still being very timid, very passive on the playstyle. Getting caught off guard now. He's on the back foot again here. Managing to pop a shot. This is not looking good. Sundown, but it doesn't matter. The 149. The bailout. And that's what I meant by the power shotgun. The damage, the upgraded variance is so good. Bail you out of any situation, and Dookie finds himself there. What looked like otherwise would have been a loss for him. He probably would have gotten taken out. Is right. Talking about eliminations and trying to turn things around. Here's BENJYFISHY, someone who is trying to continue to maintain the momentum that he's coming off of just in general for the solo track. You can see points are being rewarded for players just breaking over that 50 kind of threshold in this format. He's made a far trek through Lazy Lake, through players that in this lobby is probably like Let She, who lands over at Lazy Lake, and other big names. The game's been so stacked in the EU division. You can see Marcus kind of planted up there, light down below. All players who are still very much on track. Talking about players on track, it's Wolfies. Wolfies is on track for a first place as well. We get to see the other perspective here of a player who's on defense. Let's see what it's like to go against a player like Wolfies. Wolfies already backed up, though, giving respect to Lazary, who we know has that minigun. Just came off of his elim. He's kind of situated right now. Gonna catch a couple shots here on Wolfies. We'll see if Wolfies holds a grudge. Wolfies is the type of player. He has that player tendency. If you really want it, he'll give it to you. He doesn't mind, especially when he knows he's in the lead as far as overall points go. And oh boy, he has control of the drum gun. He has that mythic weapon. He has more of a reason to take the fight now. This could be a big come up. There's shots coming in from both sides, and ooh, Lazary's now going to get shot in behind as well. So things are suddenly even. They both pause to heal up now. Wolfie's on the back foot though, Sundown.
You don't want to end up, I mean, it's okay to be on the back foot with the drum gun. It's definitely better going forward. However, the minigun matching the rate of fire, and the fact that he's lower HP, he gets one solid burst onto him. That's going to be it. And Wolfies tries to make the drum gun go burr, but instead gets taken out. The tack shot, double tack spray coming through right away. And that's what we talk about, kind of the two things that can effectively end a drum gun coming in is either that immediate one pump or two really hard hitting tack shots to kind of back it off. And even then, that's probably a 50-50, if not 60-40 fight to the drum gun most of the time. However, with the health disadvantage going through, it's going to make the drum gun that much less effective, because the goal is to try and burn through your opponent's HP bar and trade the fact that you're going to get hit, but you're going to eliminate them faster than they'll be able to trade out the 200 onto you. Wolfies didn't go in that fight with 200, and Luxury was able to just completely take him down there, as now we flip on over to become Legends Anas. You also see mobile player Patrick hanging out on the side. Anas with the heavy sniper trying to line up a beat here. This player trying to be sneaky, but
no.
That feels so
Big
bad.
still.
You think, oh, I'm in a great spot. There's no way, but you're never quite safe in Fortnite. Even then, 45 players left going to Zone 3. This is what we consider a quote-unquote sparse game at the competitive level. But when you're on the edge of zone, you have to assume somebody else is there. You can't just be walking up and hiding up against a rock. Like, somebody will take advantage of it, and Anas going to be able to do that no problem, as we're just above Slurpy Swamps over by that dam there. And Anas continuing to try and put this heavy sniper to work. It was tampered with a little bit by those ghost agents, however, still going to one-shot walls and one-shot headshots. The 137, the body ain't bad either, as Mongraal goes down there. A great shot from Anas.
Big shot. Anas coming off of a hot streak from yesterday. I mean, he finished 36th place for his first day. It's not bad at all. Or I mean, from his first week, excuse me, as far as overall performance. So, picking things up, continuing the push here. The second day is kind of crazy. Mongraal put down. Here's Ping UK. He's kind of hiding out on the beachfront. You remember, Benji was situated up on the mountain just above this. It means Ping is sitting alongside players like Lights, Tohaj, Mr. Savage, Flame, Tyson. We know Marcus has height over all of this as well, kind of looking down on the playing field here.
Robob's just above them as well, another player from Train H. We talk about it, and these are a bunch of European players we've seen before, and a couple of new guys desperately trying to kind of claw up here, but all of them seem to generally be falling mostly short. There's a reason this old guard has been here so long. They're all so incredibly talented in these environments, whether it's being able to aggressively play for eliminations against some of the best in the world, or play kind of in these stacked endgames. They have the capability of doing both, but Mr. Savage is in a really awkward spot here, where if the lobby decides to kind of choose him, there's not a whole lot he's going to be able to do about it. There's about 6 people who are looking directly at him.
100%. I mean, the RPG is the one that'll decide that too. Just enough rockets come in, and all of a sudden the focus comes into you. I have a feeling, though, Mr. Savage is looking to make a play of his own, as he's kind of canvassing the playing field, trying to figure out probably if there's anyone that can otherwise get into this fight, because it seems like between him and Kaizen, he's got something personal going on. He's not losing focus on this player right now. Probably waiting till he opens up the box to rotate or something like that to try to follow on in. Notice he also blacked off his behind, right? So he's not too worried about any other factors, just the one in front of him. Here's Benji, Fishy's perspective. These are the players we want to see, players that are obviously dominating, the players that at this point I think it's safe to say we'll see in the grand finals because of their day 1 into day 2 track performances already. So this is going to be it's already shaping out to be a great competition leading into the grand finals.
You can see we do get that 4th zone revealed now. If you look in the bottom right hand corner, a number of players are going to have to make at least a short rotation to get in. Luckily, so far, most of it is overland. However, we do have a lot of that lake in play for the moving zones, which could end up being a factor, causing people to try and preserve as many builds as possible, knowing that if they do have to go out over that lake, things will get awkward very, very, very quickly. You can see here now, though, Tohaj, Eric, Magnus, Benji, Marcus, Chapix, Saudi, Bad Sniper, Hawker, so tons and tons of European players who we're used to seeing in this stage, continuing to try and make it. We've talked about it, the queues have 8 minutes left in them, so players desperately need to try and be getting in their games, try and get in the last final chance, because this is what it's all about. You either hit the top 80 here, or you're thrown into the reboot round with kind of the rest of that field to fight for a top 20 spot over 10 games to get in the grand final.
And I mean, we're already looking at what it takes to hit top 80. And you can see it's performances, big performances. So the reboot round is going to be that much more difficult. You're going to need, honestly, the plays of your life to get out of there. But we'll see here, Benji finally turn on the gas pedal here at an unprecedented time. Okay, it's because the storm is already moving. So he waited. Notice how the entire lobby waited until the storm started moving. And now fourth zone's looking like a war zone. Prior to this, it was so calm. Literally right before the storm. So here's the shot. He's gonna find some whites here. Can he find the one more to connect and take this player out? He's not even trying to reload right now. He just wanted to lose the opportunity, and it is gonna pay off. It's gonna be Hawkers who falls down. There was another one there though. Notice Sundown, he's running out of medium. Yeah.
Just an absolutely fantastic angle. As soon as he got that first 25 white hit marker, he knew that player was going to have to try and come back around, knew there were more players trying to rotate around, and now we have our top 40, and pretty much everyone has been able to squeeze around that inside of the circle. Not too many players who are going to be moving or being taken down, and as I say that, Trulex actually catches somebody with a nice little snipe shot there, but this half in, half out reveal is really going to be key in terms of dictating what's going to happen with the rest of the lobby. And you see right away Benji beginning to 90 himself upward in those hard mats, so we can assume that he pulled zone, as now we have Casterly and EG's Queasy down on the other side. And yep, as we can see, the zone did pull kind of all the way to the eastern, slightly north side. Caster is about as far from it as you can get, and a lot of people are on kind of a storm side rotation, so that's going to be tough.
A lot of people from where he needs to be, and the success point at the end of the road here. He's got the floppers, he's got decisions to make, but lucky for him, the pad is going to come out. He's going to cut straight across. This is a high pad, very risky one. He's going to follow this opponent straight in before trading the shotgun shot there. It's not going to connect. But he's in soft mats here, only in wood. He's choosing to kind of tarp out and cut across. He still has a little bit of way to go here. This layer is congested, so he's going to move on up. Good shotgun shot you see right there. Just chipping away what he can as he can while he's on the move. Now finally slipping over to the hard mats here. He's finds a moment to pop the big pot. 3 floppers though. You have to think that Castery will be making his way to endgame if he continues to make good rotations. And here's your map. Here's your other players. Everyone behind Supremacy, Kaizen and Tohaj there. They all have to still continue to make their way. They have to cut across. Here they have the sniper. Tohaj lets his guard up, and all of a sudden Tiago falls down. He jumps into the wrong box. Well played for Tohaj right there, paying close attention to his surroundings. Quick little edit reset plays into his favor here now, and it's a full refresh for him. He even gets to pick up the heavy sniper now.
And that's what it's all about. You need to be finding those refreshes, and Tohaj particularly has to be pushing for today. Only scoring 41 points on yesterday. He needs not only the placements which he's able to play for, but he needs to be finding the eliminations. You can see here Sebi holding on that mythic loadout, plus the epic shotgun, as well as the potion. So desperately trying to do everything he can. He has plenty of time, but also only sitting on the one elimination with zone pulling towards him should give him plenty of opportunities.
Just gathering information. As we know here, Sebi picked up 87 points in his day one. He's at 58 right now, 60. We're estimating you're gonna need like 190, maybe just upwards of 180 points, guys. So this 60 mark, he's on track. He's close, but he needs more. He needs Elans or some kind of big end game. The grappler in his inventory is gonna be the swing for him as he flies up to height. Nearly takes that wall out there. This is becoming closer and closer. The grappler closing the gate right now, allowing him to look back at the zone. The one shot he puts on a player is going to be enough to storm ticks him out. That's Eric who falls. He finds another headshot here, and it's the body shot that finishes lower off now. And the grappler allowing him to really determine how he cuts across the field, how he travels all of this spacing here now. Sebi with 23 players remaining is looking to do something big for himself here. 68 points now on the board. So much closer to breaking his way to top 180. Top 80 as overall player. Someone jumps in the box. This is the fight that he needs to win. He does. It's Mersian who falls there. But as you can see, BENJYFISHY comes in just fast enough to clean it up. And now all of a sudden the grappler is his. The mythic weapons are his. The loadout now elevated to the point to where it needs to be. He's building up for height here. Robob's giving him a run for his money. But just wait. Allow Benji to kind of situate here. Settle back. He will be able to kind of hold this height. He's looking, trying to see if the other layers are clear. Are they now? Castery is going to find someone there. Light's going to catch Yahtzee as well. Big pressure coming in right now. Benji taking his time here. He has high ground. You know what he's going to do with it. He's going to run the lobby now. Bad Sniper's going to fall. Chapek's going to fall. So Queasy is still in this game. Queasy is getting points as we speak right now. These are crucial for everyone who wants to break top 80. So much on the line to make it through the grand finals here. BENJYFISHY still running it though. He still has the high ground. He still has plenty of eliminations. This is how he's clawed his way up the leaderboard. Another headshot. My gosh, the Mythic Sky's assault rifle so good in these end games here. Well played though. 5 elims now. And he's just holding players off of the mountain. Someone down here with no builds. It's not going to be enough. He jumps right into his face. Amplify falls. And now it's a 1v1. It's Crank for height here. But little does he know, Benji has the grappler. He can go up whenever he chooses. He can build up. He can grapple up. Breaking through. Still deciding now. Very intense 1v1 here. Shots come down. Opens it up. 32 right there. He knows this player still has shield. The ramp wasn't up. The 50-50, and he hits the huge 180 on Truelex to close out the game in spectacular fashion. Well played for BENJYFISHY.
And there's a reason why he is one of the absolute best of the best, putting the grappler to work there, being able to close out the rest of the lobby. And there's a reason he was on top yesterday. There's a reason he was on top so far today. And I wouldn't be surprised if in the end he was the one who ultimately took home the grand finals out of EU.